Hello, welcome to the Sarah Seems podcast Rhinebeck vlog. It feels weird doing like a formal intro for a vlog, but I realized I haven't talked to you on this vlog yet. So yeah, my name's Sarah. I post all kinds of crafty content, and this is a vlog about our trip to upstate New York for Rhinebeck weekend. I am near a road, so I apologize if you can hear cars going by. There's one now. Hopefully it's not too annoying, and I'll try to speak up when that's happening. So yeah, I am in Kingston, New York with my partner Troy, my sister, and one of my oldest friends. We are staying at a very cute Airbnb in Kingston. The building, the house was built in 1840. It's like a beautiful old Greek style home. It's really lovely, and there's this little porch, so I'm sitting outside to record this. I just got back from India Untangled, so I'm going to show you everything I purchased there, but I thought that I would just give a little recap of our trip so far. So we drove up on Wednesday, Troy and my sister and I, and it's about a 10-hour drive. So we got to our Airbnb around 5:30 or 6 and just kind of got settled in and made dinner, and that was really nice to just stay in on the first night. I am enjoying a beer right now. It's about 5 o'clock, if I didn't already say that. So yeah, we just kind of made dinner, settled in. And then on Thursday, our friend was taking the train up from New York City. So we went to pick her up in Poughkeepsie, which is a really pretty drive. The foliage is out of control beautiful right now. It is like perfect fall colors. I come up here to this part of the state most years, but I've never been up here this late, and like I've never seen the colors like this. They're so gorgeous. So all the drives have been really, really nice. So we went and picked her up, and then now I'm forgetting, what did we do? Oh yeah, we went and had lunch. We went to Lola, which is like an amazing pizza place. It was like a 10-minute walk from our Airbnb. It is a little bit pricey. It's like fancy pizza, but definitely was worth it. Very, very good. Hopefully I will have gotten footage of most of this stuff, but I am a bad YouTuber and I can never remember to get footage of everything. So yeah, we had pizza, which was great. Then we just kind of walked around and checked out all of the little shops in downtown Kingston. Very, very cute. Lots of really cute shops. we went to Rough Draft Books, which is an awesome bookstore. I feel like everyone's been posting about it. It is a bookstore slash bar slash cafe slash coffee shop, and it's in a really beautiful historic old stone building, and it's, I know I got some clips of that. It's so pretty. That is like a must visit if you're in Kingston. What did we do after that? Oh, we went to an excellent dinner. So this was last night. I had actually seen this as a recommendation from another knitting podcaster, and unfortunately I can't remember who it was now, but we drove out to the Deer Mountain Inn, which is about a 40-minute drive north of where we are staying in Kingston, but totally worth it. It's a beautiful historic inn, and it was one of the best meals I've ever had. So their main thing is the sourdough bread that is baked fresh to order. It was definitely the best bread I've ever eaten in my life. It was just like flaky, and the inside was soft and warm, and the outside was crisp and flaky and salty, and it was hot, and it was perfect. And then you get all these different little like accompaniments with it. The rest of the meal was amazing as well, so that was definitely a highlight. And then we drove back, kind of watched TV, hung out. Today we got up early to go for a hike, so we drove kind of back up to where the inn was near the Catskills Falls, and we did like a 3.7 mile hike, which was perfect. It was a rail trail that intersected the trail to the Catskills Falls, so the railroad part of it was really flat. It was about, most of it was that, so it was like a pretty straightforward flat trail, but you could see like where the tracks were and all of that, which was cool. And then when you intersected the falls path, you kind of went down to the viewing platform where the falls are, and the falls were really pretty right now. I think I got some footage of that. And then you hike back up and back out the rail trail. So it was it was like long enough to be, you know, you feel like you're getting a workout in, but it wasn't so strenuous except for that little up and down bit at the end. So yeah, it was a really nice hike, really good mix. Came home and got ready, and then I went to Untangled. And it's my first time going to this event. I was there in the 2 to 4 p.m. time slot, and I totally failed at getting footage as usual. I was there by myself, so I think that does make it a little bit harder because I was too busy shopping, but I did get a couple clips going in, and I will show you everything I got now. So where to begin? I was pretty good. If you watched my last podcast where I talked about the vendors that I wanted to shop from, I mostly stuck to that. Like I actually don't know if I bought anything from a vendor that I wasn't, maybe one thing, but let's get going. So the first thing I ran, well, let me kind of start with the event. So I learned an important lesson. I was driving to the coordinates given for the parking lot for Untangled, and I started seeing like a ton of knitters and all people like going to this event, and people were just parking on the street, but it was telling me that my event was still like 5 to 6 minute drive down the road. So I was like, oh shoot, well, I'm just gonna park on the street and like get in line to get in. So I get in line, and like I'm chatting with some of the other people in line, and come to realize that I'm in line for Cakapalooza, not Untangled, which is not the event I was trying to go to. So I went back to my car and carried on down the road, but just to note, these events are really close together, like a 5-minute drive down the road. So I think probably a mistake. I'm sure I'm not the only one that made that mistake, but it was fine. I still had plenty of time to get there for my time slot. So Untangled had great parking. I would say Cakapalooza, the parking situation was a bit chaotic and stressful, and it was kind of just street parking in a much busier part of town, whereas Untangled was a little bit further out, so they had like a lot of really clear, well-planned parking with parking attendants, and I got a really close spot. It was not stressful at all. So if finding parking and like having to parallel park stresses you out, I would say Untangled is probably the easier way to go, but I can see why people go to both events because they are so close together, and if I came to this again, I would probably try to do both as well. Yeah, so got checked in, no problem. There was no line. First thing I did was pick up my tote bag. So this was an optional add-on with your ticket, and I did opt to pre-order the tote bag because I thought it was very cute this year. So here's the tote bag. It says Indie Untangled 2024, and I just thought the design was really, really cute this year. And I liked the burgundy, which will be a trend in the yarn purchase. And then we've got like a red burgundy couch. It's a trend. Also, my hair is so poofy. I don't know why. I showered and blow dried it and then braided it, so we've got some poof going on. So ignore the poofy hair. But anyway, so yes, I picked up my tote bag. It's really nice. It's like a really heavy canvas. It's got the woven cotton straps, and it has a zipper on the top, which is nice as well. Trying to remember if I went in a specific order or if I just I'll try to go in the order in which I purchased things, but we'll see how that goes. So the first booth I came across was Hudson and Westco. They were one of the ones on my list to check out, and I met the owners who were awesome and so helpful, and I did end up buying a sweater quantity of yarn. However, it was not for one of the sweaters that I had planned to buy yarn for, but it is a sweater that's been on my to knit list for years. So sorry about the cars. So one of the owners was wearing the sweater, and it's the Isley sweater. Here's a picture, and I want to say this is by Megan Babbitt or Babin, and if not, I can put that on the screen. And I have been wanting to knit this sweater in that black yarn for, like I said, so long. And they had it there, but they didn't have any more. Sorry, some people passing by. I'll try and keep this like pretty brief. They didn't have the black, but they did have Midnight, which is their super dark navy. And I did go ahead and pick up a sweater quantity of that to make the Isley. It is gorgeous. I love how dark it is. They're not labeled because they actually weren't out on the shelf. They were like, we'll sell these to you as long as you're cool with them not having a label. So I can't tell you the makeup or anything. All I know is that this is the fingering weight, and the color is Midnight, and I'm gonna make the Isley with it. And this is like my ideal navy. It's like almost black. It's super cool and super dark. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. And this yarn is pretty affordable too, comparatively. This was like definitely the most affordable sweater quantity that I bought today. So that was the first purchase. Then right next to them were Line Study Textiles. And again, if you saw my last podcast, I was talking about how I was really excited to check them out. And this was the thing that was most like exciting and like fresh and interesting to me at the whole event. So let me show you the bag that I bought for myself, which was this one. So again, these are by Line Study Textiles, and this is the front. Here's the back. They are slightly different. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's hand woven and handmade by Diana Parrington, who I met there in Beacon, New York, which is a little town that I've been to many times. It's very cute. And yeah, she hand weaves the fabric and then sews the bag, and I just thought the colors were gorgeous. The quality is really beautiful. So it has a zip top. It's fully lined with another hand woven fabric, and then it does have 2 pockets here. Ooh, yep. Oh, actually there's a series of pockets. So there's like a big one and then 2 littler ones. And this was the large size project bag, but I think for me, this is probably gonna be a really nice like sock project bag. The zipper has a little leather pull. I just thought these were too gorgeous. And I picked one up for my friend Jess too, who saw my last video and was like, oh my God, I want one of those bags. So this is the one that I got for her. Really pretty. I love the green is what drew my eye to it because Jess loves green, but it has these like reds and oranges. Just so beautiful, and they're very soft too. Like, I'm so pleased with these. Next I went to Coats & Co, which I was really excited to see for their like minis and their sock colors, and they had these awesome packs that are like 10-gram wind offs of colors, just like leftovers that they had. So it's kind of hard to see in the bag, but I picked up this. So I think there was like over 600 yards total in the bag, but there's just lots of fun little different colorways, and I thought these would be perfect for summer, like Summerly's summer colorwork cuff club sock patterns, or any of the more like colorwork socks that I've been doing lately. So that was awesome, and this was a really good deal too, and I think something you can only get at the shows. And then I did get one other mini from her in violent hot pink, because how could I resist? Love. Okay, after that I went to Treehouse Knits, and the first thing that caught my eye there was the thing I planned to buy from her, which was one of her Tweety sock sets, and you can really see the stellina in this lighting. So this is called There's a Lot of Beauty in Ordinary Things. This is from her Office collection, and it is the Festival fingering base, so it has that rainbow tweed in it. I think these are just going to be really fun socks. And then I did buy a sweater quantity from Treehouse Knits as well to make the Drivo pullover. This was one of the sweater quantities that I had planned to buy. I'll put a picture of the design in here. It's by Teddy Lutzak. And I picked up this yarn. Oh, it looks so pretty. This is their Yak Silk DK base. The colorway is called Someone You Once Called Home, and it is 60% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 20% yak. And as I said, I did get a sweater quantity of this to make the Drivo pullover. Gorgeous color, very excited. This is my color of the fall. All right. I did make one fiber purchase, which this is the one I wasn't planning to make, but it was a vendor that caught my eye and I kind of just couldn't resist. So this was by, Kira Wiggins. I mean, it's the hot pink. How could I pass it up? So there was only one braid of this left, so I think it would be really cute to maybe add it into my night shift or knit up a hat or anything. This is her Hella Soft base. It's 100% Pullworth, and the color is called Dream House. So yeah, I kind of just couldn't pass up that like perfect pink neon fiber. Okay. This one was also on my list. I wanted to check out the Red Pansy, which was a new to me dyer. And by the time I got to her, she only had one skein of her custom colorway for the show left, and I did buy it, and here it is. So this is the DK base, which is fine by me. I'll make some chunky socks. The color is called October Twilight, and it is a 100% super wash merino. But I think this will be some really pretty socks. I love a DK weight sock, and I just thought this colorway was too good to pass up. All right, last but not least, I made a significant purchase from North Bay Fiber Co., who was also on my list, so I did pretty good. And I knew I was going to do most of my shopping at this event today, and I feel like I've checked a lot of stuff off my list. So first I did purchase the sweater quantity for my linen sweater. Here's a picture. This is by Kadri. I'm going to be knitting this with my cousin. We're going to knit it together this winter. It's going to be her first sweater. And I picked up another burgundy yarn. Is anyone shocked? So this is North Bay Fibers Journey base. It's Aran weight, 100% Romney, 100% American Romney wool, and their whole thing is that they do breed specific yarns. So this yarn is gorgeous. The color is called Early Maple. It's non-superwash, 2-ply, semi-worsted spun. It has kind of a loose ply, which I'll show you, and it's 175 yards for 100 grams. You can see that really pretty ply. I think it's gonna have look really nice knit up in this stockinette sweater, and it's the color of the moment. Love her. Very soft. It's very plush. I'm really excited to knit with this. So I did get 8 skeins of that. And then North Bay Fiber had one other thing that I could not resist. Their colorway for the show was so eye-catching. You could see it from across the barn. Like, they had a little display set out that had this color in all of their different bases, and this was the show exclusive color. It is called Hudson. Look at it. Oh, it's so bright. I'm obsessed. So I picked up 2 skeins of the DK. This is their Heritage DK, which is a Targhee Polypay combo, and it is just so soft and plush, and this color, what I just couldn't leave without it. Like, it's so gorgeous. So this is a heavy DK light worsted, and I did get 2 skeins, and I plan to knit a hat with this. And usually I make my hats with like Troy or I in mind, but I think this one I'll just knit something really basic, and like either of us could wear it. And I just think the color is pretty amazing, and I really can't get over how soft this is. I think a sweater in this would be amazing. So that's the haul. It's quite a bit, but as I said, I was prepared to buy most of these things. There's only a couple things on my list that I would still like to try and get at Rhinebeck on Sunday, and I do feel like Rhinebeck might end up being so overwhelming that I'm really relieved I just have like a couple things I'm looking for. So yeah, we're getting ready to go out to dinner tonight. We're trying to go to a local ramen place, and then we are going on a haunted riverboat tour. So I'll try and get some footage from that. And yeah, I will, excuse me, I started drinking this beer and it's giving me weird, I don't know. Tomorrow we have a bit more of a chill day. I know tomorrow's the big day for New York Sheep and Wool, but we are not going to be going, just trying to avoid the crowds. Everyone I have with me is not a knitter, but they are coming to the festival, so want them to have a good time too and don't want to be overwhelmed. So we're just going on Sunday. Tomorrow we're going on an autumn foliage pumpkin train ride, so that should be fun. And I'll bring you all along for the journey. I'll probably do one more check-in after the festival on Sunday, and then we'll be heading back to Ohio, driving back on Monday. So I'm gonna wrap it up here because of all the street noise. Thanks for hanging in there, and we'll carry on with our upstate New York adventure. Hello again. It is now Sunday. I think today's October 20th, and we just got back from the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, so I wanted to do another check-in. I'm gonna back up and go over the past day and a half, and then I'll go over everything we did today and show you all of the yarns that I got. So last time I talked, I think was Friday afternoon after Untangled. And that night we went out and had some ramen at a really great little local ramen spot. And then we went on a haunted riverboat tour. I had high hopes. It was not the best. It was more awkward than spooky. Unfortunately, the tour guides were not the most charismatic, but The boat was very cool. The tour went out of the Hudson River Maritime Museum, which is right in downtown Kingston, and they have a fully solar powered boat, which was very cool. I think it's like pretty unique. They were telling us about it, and it was like silent on the water. So it was very cool to be out on the water at night in the dark with the boat. Like, that was really cool. Unfortunately, the ghost stories, not as cool, but the boat ride part itself was very cool. And we did see there's like a little lighthouse that was kind of cool and spooky at night. And the coolest thing was that there is an abandoned medical ship along the river line here. So that was very spooky to see at night. Yeah, it was cool. Probably wouldn't do it again or recommend it, but it was fun and certainly will be memorable. And then yesterday we kind of took it easy. The only real activity we had was a little train ride, like a fall foliage train ride that just went out of Kingston for about 30 minutes and then back. And unfortunately, I actually didn't get to go. I have some footage in that the rest of my crew took, but I ended up having a migraine, so didn't think a train ride was going to be the best for that. So I did end up staying home and kind of sleeping it off. And that was okay. We just ended up having kind of a chill day at the Airbnb, which was also fun. You know, it is vacation. It's nice to have a balance of relaxing and going. So that was a pretty chill day. A chill day. It was also, oh, we did go to the farmer's market yesterday morning, and we got some pickles there. So that's what it just made me think of it. But they have a great farmer's market here in Kingston. Yeah, we bought a ton of stuff. We got stuff for lunch yesterday, just all kinds of really good stuff. So I would, if you are staying at Kingston, I would definitely recommend checking out the farmer's market. It was awesome. And then that brings us to today, which was the main event, New York Sheep and Wool Festival. This was my first time ever coming to the festival. We did only go on Sunday. Today did not go at all yesterday. And I'm really glad we did that, because even only going today, it was still pretty busy. I kind of can't imagine trying to fight the Saturday crowds. I think that would have been really stressful, especially because I was the only knitter in my group. So my partner Troy, my sister, and my friend, none of them are really into fiber arts. So there was a lot of stuff that they still enjoyed, but I don't think would have been willing to like fight through those crazy crowds to see all of that stuff. So we got there pretty early, like right when it opened at 9 a.m. And it was cool this morning. It was kind of cold. It was like 45 degrees, but it was going to be heating up to like, now it's like 70. So you can see I've changed out of my sweater, but I kind of was on the fence about if I wanted to wear my sweater or not, but I did end up wearing it. I was wearing my Alpine Bloom Tee by Caitlin Hunter, and I'm glad I wore a short sleeve sweater. I was warm. I was getting kind of hot towards the end, but it wasn't too bad. So I am glad I went ahead and wore it. I got lots of compliments on it. It was lovely to talk to lots of people. So yeah, we got there at 9 and we went straight for the apple cider donuts and coffee. I was a little like, the map looks very intimidating, but everything's not quite as far apart as it looks on the map. So it was pretty easy to find everything we wanted to find. The donuts were amazing. They were hot and sugary and delicious. From there, we went and started checking out some of the barns near the livestock area. Found a few things, and then we went to what was easily the highlight of the day, the llama leaping competition, in which all of the camelids, like the goats, the alpacas, the llamas, take turns jumping over a limbo stick and until there is a winner. It was delightful. The level of crowd involvement was frankly shocking. People were so into it, which made it very fun. So that was awesome. It was very cute. The tiny goat stole everyone's heart. It was delightful. Very glad we went to that. And then we went to the sheep barn and saw all the sheep. After that, we took a break for lunch. So we did have the lobster mac and cheese, some loaded tater tots. I did not get to try the Brussels sprouts. The line was simply too long. Maybe another time. But yeah, all the food was good. After lunch, we went and did the other vendor barns down at the bottom of the hill, the bigger like indoor kind of air conditioned barns. and finished up our shopping, and we left around 2. So all in all, we were there for almost 5 hours, and I think today only goes till 4, so we were there almost the whole day. I did see quite a few other knitting podcasters, some big names. I saw Selma from Big Little Knits and Mega from Skeins of Dreams. I saw Knit and Grace and Marlene Knits, I think they were there together. But the only ones that I talked to were Mackenzie and Tim from Sibling Energy Podcast, who their podcast is the best. It's so funny. If you're not watching it, definitely check it out. I did go up and say hi to them, and we chatted for a minute, so that was cool. But yeah, lots of familiar faces out and about, and I did randomly run into a couple people from back home, which was cool. So yeah, it was really, really fun. So glad we went. My heart is very full. And now I can show you what I bought. So I was only planning to buy one more sweater quantity of yarn today. However, I found some very good deals and one thing that I just didn't want to pass up. So let me show you what I got. These are in no particular order. Oh, well, the very first thing I did buy, actually, I had mentioned on my previous video that I wanted to see Hall & Hoof Farm, who are ceramics artists from Ohio, because they were making Rhinebeck ornaments. And that was actually the first place we went. It was like right on the road inside the entrance. And they had sold out of the ornaments pretty quickly on Saturday, the ones that were Rhinebeck specific, like they said Rhinebeck 2024. But I did go ahead and get an ornament from them anyway, and this is the one I got. So it's just a really cute little ceramic sweater with an Ohio star on it, which is a quilt motif. So I am sad I wasn't able to get one of the Rhinebeck specific ones, but I think this is a fun little way to remember the event regardless, and it's really cute. I did get one other ornament as well because it was just too cute to resist. I got this little sheepy one. He's just a little puff ball. It's like totally weightless. It's like pipe cleaners, but I just thought he was really cute. So 2 ornaments to add to the tree this year, which made me excited for Vlogmas. It's coming up so soon. Hard to believe. Another kind of Christmassy thing. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. We picked up these little felted cat toys that have these cute little embroidered stars on them. There were so many vendors. Honestly, it was a little bit overwhelming. Like, we did walk through all the vendors, and the ones that stand out, like really stand out, but after a while, a lot of them kind of start to look the same. So we definitely didn't like stop in every booth. Just kind of the ones I knew I really wanted to hit are things that caught people's eye, but yeah. Okay, let me show you the things I got for myself, and then there's a couple little gifty things I got for other people. So the first sweater quantity I bought was this. Sorry, the color is probably not going to be great in here with the light behind me, but this is a really pretty like light purpley lilac. It is Prairie Spun DK from the Brown Sheep Company in Mitchell, Nebraska. And they had a ton of bins of these, and they were all seconds, like second skeins. So they were $6 each. So I got a sweater quantity of this for $36, which I thought was pretty amazing. The only thing is, like, I did try, there was some variance in the color, and I think that's why they were seconds. So I did just try to pick ones that were pretty close, but I think I will probably knit this up into something with a lot of texture that hopefully you wouldn't notice like a little bit of shift in the color between skeins. It's 100% wool, three ply yarn, 100 grams, 256 yards. And I kind of just couldn't resist a sweater quantity in this color for that price. I thought that was amazing. It's also very soft. So I was really happy about that. Next, I stopped by the Harrisville Designs booth, which was probably my favorite booth of the event. They just had a really good setup. They first of all had a large space, like they had purchased 2 or 3 booths, so they had a really big space. And then they kind of were doing a sample system. So they had one of every color of everything set out, and then you had like an order form that you kind of filled out what you wanted, and then you took it to the checkout where there were multiple people to help you, handed them your form, and then they kind of had a stock room where they could like, they were just filling orders and putting it right in a bag for you and like pulling everything, and the whole thing took like a couple of minutes. So instead of having all their inventory on the floor, they were kind of managing it in the back, which I think was a really good system. So I got a couple things there. I knew I wanted to grab a skein of nightshades so that I could make Andrea Mowry's new night and day cowl. This is 100% American Cormo. It's 250 yards for 100 grams, so it's DK. And this is the nightshade color Static. It's the one Andrea used in her sample. It's black with little flecks of white wool. And I already have a color of daylights at home that I'm gonna hold with it. So just needed the skein of nightshades. This is gorgeous though. I would really maybe like to knit a sweater in this sometime in this black colorway. It's really, really nice. And they also had Peace Fleece at their booth, which is a wool I've heard a lot about, but I have never seen in person. And it is gorgeous. It is also very affordable. It only comes in one weight, worsted weight. But I did find a color that I absolutely loved, and I did end up getting a sweater quantity. And I'm sorry, yeah, the colors aren't showing up really, really well on the camera here, but the color here is Morning Dove. It's 200 yards for 113 grams. It is beautiful. So it's 75% Navajo Rambouillet and domestic fine wool, and I love Rambouillet. It's like one of my favorites. So I am so excited about this. The color is kind of like a mauvey brown. It's not dissimilar from the brown in the shirt that I'm wearing, but it has all these little rainbowy specks in it. There's lots of like pink and yellow. I don't know. I just think it's gorgeous. I was thinking I might change my plan and knit the linen out of this, which I may still do. But I kind of just think like a plain, gorgeous, like drop shoulder, boxy kind of sweater would be so nice in this. So we'll see. Out of everything I bought, I think I'm most excited about this. I cannot wait to use it. And if I love how it works up and wears, I could see myself making like many more sweaters out of this yarn. I think it's $18 a ball, which is very, very reasonable. And the colors are beautiful. They also gave me, they had really cute t-shirts at the Harrisville Design booth, and they had them as tote bags as well, and I missed out on that. I missed out on all the tote bags by going on Sunday. Everything was sold out, but that's okay. They did give me these very cute temporary tattoos, which I may end up just kind of using as stickers, and a pair of snips. The last sweater quantity I got was the one that I planned to get today from Bare Naked Wools to make the Dion, I'm saying Dion, I don't know if it's Dion or Diana. I can put a picture of the design in here. It's this gorgeous like faux off the shoulder looking sweater by Natasha Hornby. And I knew that I wanted to use Kent DK from Bare Naked Wools, and I did pick that up, and here it is. So it's kind of just like a perfect medium gray. It's undyed. This base is 60% merino, 40% Romney. The color is Beach Pebble. It's really pretty, a lot of natural like color variation. The color looks pretty consistent between skeins, but since it's undyed, it does say, due to the artisanal character of our yarn, there may be slight variations in shading from skein to skein. We recommend alternating skeins for larger projects, which I may do. However, I feel like this sweater has a lot of like distinct sections and textures, so we'll see. I might just kind of fade from one to the other, but I did pick up my sweater quantity of that. All their colors are gorgeous too. It was kind of hard to choose. And then last but not least, I just have a couple little gifty things. So for my cousin who is just getting ready to knit her first sweater, I picked up some unscented soap wash, the little gift kit that came with the bag. And I also got her some point protectors. She was telling me that her cat likes to chew on the tips of her knitting needles, so figured it was time for some of those. And last but not least, for my mom who loves to bicycle and is an avid crocheter, I picked up some little stitch markers. They came in this cute little jar, but let me show them to you. They are little bicycles. So they're all different colors, and the rings are, they're not clasps, but they're like open rings, so you could use them for crochet. Really cute. Thought she would like those. And that is it. That's what I got. So all in all, I definitely bought more yarn than I planned to today, but the Peace Fleece and the pink yarn were both really good value, and I got so excited about the Peace Fleece, I would have regretted not buying it. And the pink yarn, I also love the color, and again, for $36 for an entire sweater quantity, could not pass that up. But the ornament and a lot of the other small stuff were things that I had planned to buy today, so I feel like I did pretty good. I really enjoyed the day. I would definitely come again. I would love to come back another year with like some knitting friends. You know, my crew that I was with really enjoyed it. They loved seeing the animals, but I do think you cannot geek out about knitting as much with non-knitters as you can with the knitters. However, I do think coming with non-knitters helped me to not go crazy with shopping. So really curious if you were here this year. Let me know how your experience was, or if this was your first year coming as well, or if you stayed home and did anything fun this weekend that wasn't going to Rhinebeck. I don't know if I'll be coming back again next year. I think I might have a different fiber festival in mind for next year, but I could definitely see myself coming again in the future. Our trip's not quite over yet. Tonight, we're planning to go out to dinner, maybe a local brewery, but then tomorrow morning we are going to be hitting the road back to Ohio. So that is probably it. I think I'm going to wrap it up for the check-ins. There'll be a little bit more footage after this, but I hope you've enjoyed seeing my little behind the scenes. And yeah, again, comment below, and please let me know if you made it out this year. If not, what you think about the whole thing. Love to hear from you all, and thanks for following along. Bye.